This is D'Angelo Cole, and this is my utility app review for MIU August 2015. I work in the music radio industry, and so I decided to do my app on one that is of some entertainment newsworthiness. In my app I created, you can see here, it did a header view with an image attached to it. Also, kind of created the logo box for the logo to go inside of it, and sign in button. I used a text field for the username and the password, and a sign in box, and another account box to use. And then when you go to the account settings and click on that, it takes you over to where you can go in and actually see all the different fields. To use text area fields for the username, and that way you can create their first name, enter their last name, enter their email address, so on and so forth, as they go through and filling out the fields. And the other button you would hit where you would get to the continue button, which would take you to where you can pick your topics of choice that you wanted to read about, and put in, some of the make it a little way they can choose some things to pick in their view. And then my JSON data right here with all the run through of the different stories they can read about. And news-wise, I created another one where they can actually get the actual stories that they want to hear once they sign in, and go from there and create a scrollable view, so go back and forth between each of the news stories. And looking at the app, see the sign-in page, the logo, username, password, sign in. And if they're not a member, they can click right here. You can see where they go in and they put all their information in, first name, last name, and everything. And if we go to step 2, is where they could pick their topics of choice. Some of them by default, it clicks all of them, it checks all of them. And if they wanted to get rid of something, they would just focus on it, slide to the side, delete it, and then they don't have to have that in their list of things that they want to read about or get news from in that way. So that way they can go through there. A problem I had was getting the done button to go back to my sign-in window. That was a little trouble trying to set everything up for that. Worked on that, but really couldn't get that to focus back and forth with going back into that and making that work. But I was able to create my home screen and go back from there to where the user could come in and be able to sign in and go to their actual news feeds. And as you can see, when they sign in, they pick their username and they chose, it would show up, and the password that they chose would definitely be masked, so they wouldn't be able to, no one would be able to see if they were looking over their shoulder or something like that. So once they sign in, it takes them to their news stories. They can actually scroll over, read the next news, see everything, and go from there.